Welcome back.
Let's get it.
Part two. Part two.
Wait,
Kind of.
here's part two.
There's part two. What? Who are they?
Who, these guys?
Yeah, the company.
The Elysian?
Elysian. Okay.
Night Owl. And actually, here I have the thing here.
They're
I think it's 7 different breweries that I got for this birthday gift.
Well,
Shout out to Devin Evie.
Well, congratulations, Elysian. You are getting free advertisement on here because.
Yes, sir.
While he's looking that up, also for some people that have commented to me here, why do you drink alcohol on the podcast? It's because I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I mean, he can attest. I have maybe like.
I haven't seen him drinking
2 beers every 3
ages.
like 3 times a year.
I mean, we're not like Snoop Dogg, who's just smoking a blunt
Snoop
on the podcast.
Dogg. This is called Elysian Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. It's a pumpkin crusted
Strong ale porter. Technically, it's a stout.
Oh, it's a stout.
Maybe. It's in the stout section.
It's classified in the stouts.
Yes. It looks...
In our doors.
It's a pumpkin spice pie crust.
Okay.
So,
Well,
let's
get into it.
Yes, sir.
Just kind of see what we got. Dude, how are you?
I've been good. Been very, very good.
How are you since the UFC podcast?
Oh, that was wild. That was so much fun. I think my favorite part of the podcast, which probably was all over, is still going to be when I asked, I forgot his name. I said, tell me the last time the Mets did it.
The Mets did it. I went back and listened to that. I'm like, oh, this thing is all over the place.
That part had me hilarious.
And the Mets did nothing.
Yes, true.
Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves, even though I'm not a Braves fan. Shout out to Robert Barnett because, he's going to be happy about that. This is good.
This is amazing.
This is really good.
It's like a hint of cinnamon in it, too.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That is... Oh.
You can, literally taste the pie crust.
Uh-huh. Wow, that is awesome.
Shout out.
Shout out to these guys.
Shout out to you guys.
For sure.
If you ever want to sponsor, give me a call.
Sure.
So, I wanted you to come on again because I just wanted to talk to you and catch up, honestly.
True that.
About some stuff.
This was a busy year for me. I remember talking about it. We did link up on my birthday this year.
Yes, we did. We did. We went to Funk's and had a couple beers.
That we did.
Where did you end up going that night?
Oh, okay. So that adventure, I wanted to do something different. Obviously, I'm turning 30. I turned 30.
Yes, that's right. Happy birthday. 30.
Yeah. So I wanted to do something different because I was like, just going to the city and being at the bars. It's the same thing. I'm not trying to do a party, whatever. So I was just like, how about I go from New Holland and work my way into the city, and then I work my way up to Centerville.
Yeah.
So I started at Shooters. I went to Helen's. I went to Funk's. I went to your place 130.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Brasserie. Yeah, the mothership. Yes, your
the
place
mothership.
is the mothership. I went to the Brasserie. Yes, I've missed. Their food is so good.
I haven't. I think the last time I went there was 2019, before COVID happened.
Nice. Oh, dude, their food is so good
good.
sometimes. And then I went to 551.
Okay.
And then I hopped all the way over. I was going to hit Brandy's, Stubby's, and Quips. But the day just turned out. I definitely started late because I definitely should not have went out the night before because people wanted to go out for my birthday.
Did you go to, they just turned, not just turned, but the jukebox.
Oh, I have not been to 23 yet. I have not. That is on the list.
Here's my thing. You had a great establishment for older people to go to. Mm-hmm. No offense, older people, but for older people to go to,
like an older crowd,
people loved. Yeah, and exactly. it was the jukebox. How are you gonna try and turn that into a club?
I did hear my brother actually was there. He said that
he DJ'd there.
He just went with a buddy.
Okay.
I think his buddy was that one DJ in there, and he just went to see it and kind of be his hype man. Don't quote me on that one, but he said it's actually really nice in there.
Really?
He said there's several TVs. There's plenty of space. You know, places to sit and whatnot, chat, and then there's like a middle part, or dance floor part, whatnot.
I at least want to see it.
Yeah, I want to go just to see it, kind of experience it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just never found the time. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to go there and just be like, man, this is a nice place, but I am so out of place here.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially at the when it was the jukebox. I walked in there.
Like, I never went to it when it was the jukebox. I was just like, I don't think I'm allowed.
They don't want me
I
here.
probably passed the age bracket now.
Oh, yeah, easily.
They were still the jukebox.
I think while we're on bar topics, and we were just talking about this the other day, probably the bar that I used to love to go to was Barnaby's in Westchester.
Yes, I do.
Oh. Yeah, keep going.
Barnaby's in Westchester is probably going to be my favorite bar.
Yes.
It also took us, 20 minutes to figure out Landmark? You're not. The bricks are down. Don't worry, we'll edit that. But I do believe it was fun. It was great because I think Westchester's bar scene brings out. It's just more lively, and it might be just because it's a college town too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because Lancaster and Millersville are not very close to each other. No, they were not. But I think Westchester.
Listen this whole thing up. Go ahead.
Is their bar scene is just, I love it. You know, you got Barnaby's right there. What'd we say? Saloons, Landmark, Ryan's.
Landmark, Barnaby's, Ryan's,
Moss. I think it's called Moss's.
Yeah.
Moss's
something.
And
Sidebar.
That's
the one I was thinking about. Sidebar.
Sidebar.
I couldn't think about Sidebar.
And Kildare's.
Can
never forget about
the Irish.
Mm-hmm. I think we spent a lot. It was funny because we always did the same routine. It was start at Barnaby's, and then we would walk up, and then we would go see which one is easier to get in. We would go into Kildare's.
Yep.
We would go into Ryan's, and then we would go into Landmark, and then we would work our way back just to end up back at Barnaby's.
Yeah. We always ended up back at Barnaby's.
True.
When I had your sister on, and she was saying, we were kind of talking about the Westchester times and everything like that. And I gotta say, like, those were some of the best times of my life, and it wasn't just because of the partying; it was because of like
the people,
the people and the atmosphere was just.
The time homecoming.
Oh gosh.
Yes, where we definitely painted our heads.
Yep.
Purple.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I had the purple Boston hat on and the purple sweater thing I have, and that's when you called me Barney.
I forgot. That's right.
Barney.
You know? And it was nice too because our group of friends got along with her whole team.
Yeah.
And so and her two friends, what was it? Bridget and
Emily. Flannel.
And McBridget.
Shout out Flannel.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I was like, and you know, especially when what was the one my sister's one roommate when he brought his friends around from home. Patty's boyfriend now. Ant.
Yeah.
And when he brought his friends and then our friends were there. Oh, talk about it was a game over after that.
All the crazy games and man,
dude, it was like bottle hockey.
I honestly forgot about bottle hockey till the other day. I seen it on YouTube on a short.
As soon as we learned that game, I don't think we went a weekend without playing bottle hockey.
No. Black, red, purple was probably the one that we played most.
I think we substitute black, red, purple for
bottle hockey. Yeah, you're actually probably right on that.
I think once we learned that game, we stopped playing red.
I remember, what was it? It was either Kristen's birthday or it was one of just randomly going down there one Saturday. We were going to go out to the bars, and then we ended up playing bottle hockey for like 4 hours straight. And then we didn't go out till like midnight.
Or 11.
Do you remember? Or like 11 or midnight,
I think it was 11 because we were playing bottle hockey so much. And we got a little too twisted. And it was a long...
Former days.
Former days, yes. We do not drink like that. No. I am not... I mean, I can bang. Don't get me wrong. but I will not recover. Not like that anymore.
That's what she was saying too when she was on. She was like, I missed the part where I got you guys breakfast and orange juice and all that stuff in the morning.
We
And I
were
was
putting
like, oh,
Kahlua
yeah.
in the coffee just so we can. And then, but you know, what made it even better is we kind of made like a whole tradition thing out of it. You know, we would go down there, we would have fun, we would hang out with the team.
Yeah.
We would go to hang out with the team, we would go out with the team. We always got pizza.
We did. We
Always got pizza
Always
at the end of the night.
Always.
And then every Sunday, we would all get together when we would find whoever we lost.
Yep.
And
Cash, we're looking at you.
I didn't say it. But no, we got and we went to B-Dubs.
Yep. And we went to B-Dubs all the time.
Every Sunday. We went and saw Natalie.
Yep. Nat, shout out Nat.
Shout out Nat. Cheers to Nat.
Cheers to Nat. Oh, cheers. Good times.
True that. And, you know, it was great. You just kind of kept that buzzing rolling. There was always someone perfectly fine to drive. Let's just state that right now. We were always carpooling together.
We were always responsible. Always responsible.
Yes. No drinking and driving.
I mean, you gotta use the term responsibility loose when it came to us.
True, back then. But, no, technically, most times I probably drove. Sometimes,
yeah.
Too. RJ, too.
We'd Uber a lot.
True. I mean, that Uber's not that bad.
No, it really wasn't.
Especially back then. Not bad in Arfon.
The one time that I thought that I could think back to, like with Uber, we were all down in Westchester, and I just got so wasted. And the next thing I know, I had Ubered back to Tim's house, like literally by myself. Like woke up in the morning, I'm like, how did I get here? Like how?
It's great. You want to hear it funny? Do you remember? So I'm gonna give you the spark notes to this story for the podcast. Do you remember the one very tall girl that I used to see all the time in Westchester every time I went out?
Yes.
Her name was Colleen.
Yes.
Okay. So, long story short, her and I met because we were going to fight each other in Shippensburg.
In Shippensburg?
Yes.
Okay.
Because one of her buddies made a comment to my friend because it was her 21st birthday, and he tried. I'm not going to say the slur that he said, but I will just say that it was provocative.
What is your life?
So me and another friend decided to turn around, which I don't know why this lined up. So the girl and I turned around and went back to argue with these two, and she went straight for the dude, and I was standing behind her, and then my friend stepped forward, and she was about to say something, and obviously me was just like, no. So I said something. I was just like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll burn you with my cigarette, and I said, oof. You do not want to do that, and some other choice words, and now we see each other. We talked about that day in college. Every time we see each other, we laugh about it, and then we used to laugh about it every time when we see each other, and we're tell our friends, like, you won't believe the story of how we're friends right now. Now she is my insurance agent.
No.
Who works? Wait for the bigger kicker. She works for the same company as Joe.
No.
Yes.
Really? Oh my! Did Joe get her the job?
Huh? No, they didn't even know. She just randomly told me about this company, and she was looking like, "Hey, like, is there any policies I can help you out with? Or you're looking
That's
for
hilarious.
something?"
Yeah.
And I said, "New York Life." I was like, "Do you know Joe DeCepio?"
Yeah.
Or not? Wait, not DeCepio.
Yeah.
Oh yes, DeCepio.
Yeah, we're dropping your government. Sorry, Joe. Miss you. Love you.
Yeah. I said, "Do you know?" And she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna." And I was just like,
Pause.
"Did I just bing my own phone?"
Did you?
Okay, nice. That's awesome. So I said, I was like, she's like, "Yeah, why?" I was like, "Oh, that's my sister's ex-boyfriend. I used to party with in Westchester all the time. I was with him all the time when I used to run into him, actually." She's like, I'm calling him right now.
The funniest thing about the cigarette thing was like that's the one once you said that, it's the one thing I always remember when you guys would like interact with each other. She'd always be like, "I'm gonna burn you with a cigarette" or something about like burning
she'd
a
always
cigarette.
be
And I'm
like,
just like, yeah,
I always caught her smoking.
Yeah.
Like that's how I found her.
Yeah.
Because I knew at some point in time when I go outside to smoke, I was like, oh, there you are.
Oh my.
Yeah, I was like,
Good
dude,
times.
the ironic
Yeah.
part about that. And I was like, yeah, this is great. Like, this is gold. This is going to be my friendship for the rest of my life.
I think we made a lot of friendships like that going down there, definitely.
For
And
sure.
then you decided to go into the Army, and everything kind of plateaued a little bit.
Yeah, I like leveled myself out a little bit.
How long have you been in?
So this year is the 6th year.
That's been 6 years already.
Yeah,
Frick.
I'm finishing my 6th year right now.
I remember in the Chili's in Parksburg, it was you, Tim, and I, and that's when I found out you were going into the Army.
Right?
Yep. And I was
I
like,
told
what?
nobody, not
Nobody.
even my parents. Actually, my parents found out when I got back from enlisting and coming back. I was actually, I remember that night because that's the night I had plans with you guys because we were going to
Yeah.
do Chili's for happy hour.
Happy hour. Yep.
And then we were like, I was like, yo, Dad, gotta tell you something. See, what's up? I joined the Army. He's like, what?
Huh?
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, join the Army National Guard. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, nice. He's like, proud of you. He didn't really know what to say because I
Yeah.
just dropped. He's like, okay. He's like, when do you leave? I'm like, kicker.
Tomorrow.
5 weeks. 5 weeks, I'm gone. I was like, end of May. And he's like, really? Mm-hmm. Which I only did it at the time because I think I enlisted, when I was 24? 25. 25.
What was that, 2016?
Hmm? Was it 2021?
Yeah.
Minus 6. It'd be
Coming up on 2022, so that'd be 6. Or you're in 6 right now.
No, I'm in 6 right now. So
So
and-
2015.
So it'd be April 19th. It's my out date, so...
No, it had to be 2016 because the
Because if you have-
2015
no,
we
yeah.
don't remember.
I think I did it at the end of that. It was...
If it's April.
No, because 4 years would make it 2020.
Yeah.
And it's 2021, so that's 5.
5.
Oh, no, you might be right. I think no, it actually is. It is 2016. I looked that up
Okay.
actually a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'd be coming into 6 is April.
Mhm.
That's right. Okay.
So become finishing the 6th in
Yeah.
2022. That's what it is.
Don't fall again. All right, we're fine. It's on the shot.
So no, but anyways, yeah, I remember him saying he was like, huh? But I had it kind of planned out for myself because I knew the timeline for basic and I knew the timeline for the job I chose, and it was enough time for me to go away for the summer and come back and be back in time for my work's busy season.
Missed my birthday.
We're not going to talk about that. And so did that, but I would be back in time for peak season for work. I would be back in time to see my Chico's graduation
Yes.
and my brother's high school graduation.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anything in between.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So it worked out better for me. That's why I kind of fast tracked it
Yeah.
because just timeline wise, I didn't want to miss. So yeah, I missed the summer.
Yeah.
Whatever. I missed whatever. Did I miss my birthday then? Or was it back before my birthday?
You would have been back.
No, I think it was back right before my birthday. Yeah, back
Yeah.
like sometime in September. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was nice. The time that is a whole experience in itself.
Well, I was gonna say, like, what? So, because how did you decide like this is what I'm doing? I'm going into the Army, and like, what was that like mentally preparing for that?
At the time, mentally, it wasn't anything crazy for me.
Yeah.
It was something that was always on my mind, and it was kind of like still thinking about
Yeah.
something I wanted to do out of high school.
Hmm.
But I didn't do it, because of certain reasons back then. It was always something it just kept ringing in my head, It was always, I see things about it. And I actually randomly was at New Holland YMCA.
Okay.
And I had got a call from a recruiter randomly. I don't know how he got my number. I don't know who referred me to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he called, he asked, said what's up, and I said I talked to him. I said this and that, and we talked, and I said okay. So we kept meeting at the YMCA. So what I was doing is I was meeting him at the YMCA. We would talk about certain things. He would like me. I would be like, okay, I'm kind of interested.
Yeah.
Told me benefits and stuff like that, because at the time I wasn't working a lot for
Yeah.
UPS.
Yeah.
It's still technically like a part-time. So, I was like, okay, this could be like extra cash on the weekends, keep me steady. Like maybe I find something in there that career-wise could be a possible change. Maybe if not, like maybe I'm banking 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Technically. So it wasn't anything crazy. So I was just like, it was kind of fitting into where I was kind of stuck at, because, I wasn't working too much and this would be nice. And I would like, especially a lot of stuff with like experience, like stuff that like a lot of people don't go through, people don't know about.
Yeah.
And it was fitting in. And at the time I was working out with a buddy of mine. So I was playing basketball like 2-3 times a week. So,
Oh gosh, the basketball tournaments.
yeah. So I was constantly like relatively in shape.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I'm like, I think it was 24, 25 at the time. So I was like, if I'm gonna do it, got to do it now.
Might as well do it.
I'm still relatively in shape.
Yeah.
I mean, like not high school shape, but like I can still like I can run, I can do it. So everything happened to just work out, and it was something I've always thought about. And it's just like, you know what? I was like, I have no ties right now. I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
I was looking into an apartment, but I couldn't find one at the time. So I was just like, if I did choose to do this, I was like, what am I going to do? Get an apartment just to not be there?
Yeah, all right.
I was just like, so I held back on it. And I went. And I did it. And at first, I can tell you, that whole first, 2 weeks, I regretted every minute of it.
I bet.
Was horrible. I was like, why did I do this? And, now I'm, stuck into something that I can't get out of, and I'm going to hate this.
Yeah.
If we're not.
Yeah.
But to be honest, from the start, it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I can honestly tell you, if you told me how to do basic training, and I would 100% do it.
Yeah.
100% do it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just because, oh, now I'm in shape, or, you're getting paid to work out, you're not spending anything.
Yeah.
It's, the system itself is built for a reason.
Yeah.
And when you understand that reason at the end, and you see it and how it comes about, especially with a group of guys that you have no idea.
Yeah.
I have friends across all 50 states now.
Yeah. And it's, I think the way that it's set up, basic training at least, and I would love for you to walk us through, kind of the mental capacity when you go into that as much as you can, but I think, the way that it's set up is, wean out. Can you survive this? Can you survive?
Yeah, and most of the times it's not to wean out,
I shouldn't say wean out, but I mean,
Well, it's built like that. It's built to make you mentally stop thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
And now you're thinking about a group.
Yeah. And a country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, when you get to that point too, the country part,
yeah.
So right now, so it's a lot of tear down, and this and that.
Yeah.
A lot of people tell you, oh, you'll be fine, don't worry.
Yeah.
And you don't think that when you first get in there, but everything's set up very well.
Yeah.
To make you mentally strong, but it's also not just to make you mentally strong, but it also makes you're no longer an individual.
Yeah.
You are one unit.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And the only way to succeed is to work together. That's how you get everything done. That's how you not get smoked.
Yeah.
That's basically what I was say. Is that's how you not.
Yeah.
And you start learning that. You start looking out for people you don't even know. You've known for 10 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, this isn't right. Hey, this. And you start realizing, you're like, yo, this is wrong. It's too far. Or this isn't set up. Or this isn't folded the right way. This and that. And it teaches you routines.
Yeah.
And, I can talk a lot about small details, but the big point of it is, once you start learning, everything starts becoming automatic. I mean, I think it's it takes you 27 times to do something, the same thing 27 times, before repetition becomes a habit.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's what it was, or that's what it was. 27. I don't know if it's still the same, but
yeah,
and stuff. And then you start learning everything in the morning, waking up. You know what you're doing.
yeah,
Bang. You know what you're banging out. You know what you got to do. You know what that. And then you also know some people are morning people.
yeah,
No matter how hard you try. You know, you're looking out for these people. You know, you're like,
yeah,
hey, let me help you out with this. Like, yo, like someone's running behind. You're like, yo, I got you. Go do this. I'll do this for you. You
yeah,
know? Next thing you know, you're like making other people's beds for them because you know they're feeling tough or they're sore or something like that. You
yeah.
start looking out for. Like I said, I was with a room, 50 guys. I think it was.
Jeez.
Yeah, 50 guys in where I was, and it's crazy. Like you just don't think about it until like it's actually there, and you're like, wow.
Because you're getting all different flavors of culture and people and
you know,
personalities.
some people are real tough because I said the same thing. I was like, listen, before I go in there, I'm just going to tell you right now. It's just like, I'm not going to do someone in my face. So it's like, you know, it's not going to happen. I'm a snap.
Yeah.
And my recruiter even said, he's like, I'm just going to tell you honestly, no, you won't.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, dude, like, whatever. And then I saw the first person. I can tell you right now, I got off that bus. First thing they told me was, welcome.
Mm.
And immediately it was this guy screaming, get off my bus. And you got 2 bags on your back.
Mm.
You are running like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
I remember at one point, the kid in the lead, I was like number 7 in.
Yeah.
I remember the kid in the lead fell. And everyone just stopped. And I remember the next guy over was like, why did you stop?
Oof.
Keep running, go around.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that, and I just put my head down and started running.
Yeah.
Didn't realize until I picked my head up that I was the first one in the lead.
Oh.
And I was like, cool. I meant to turn the corner that they told me to turn.
Yeah.
It is a zigzag of drill sergeants.
Oof.
And I'm number 1. And I was like, oh. Messed up.
Oh man.
Should have been number 2.
Yeah.
Because the very first guy said, he's like, if you're not the first one at the end of the sign, I'm gonna come back. Yeah, I'm coming for you.
Oof.
I've never ran so fast in my entire life, dude.
Literally running for your life.
I had probably 100 pounds on on me, period, front and back, and I've never ran so fast.
Oh man.
Head down. I remember I'm thinking you're supposed to stand tall and proud, and I tilted my head up, and they were like, you got beef? And I was like, never mind. Tilt my head down. I was like, I don't know what.
What is this? What do I do?
And it's it's supposed to be, it's made to be hectic.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's custody, you can't do anything right. You can't be everything in time. Like the first night, we were never on time, and you got smoked. The next morning, we tried to wake up earlier than what they told us to, and they were the first time I remember them coming in, and they were just like, oh, y'all thought you were slick. He's like, okay, we're going to do it this way. Bang, smoke for this, smoke for that, smoke for this. And I was like, dude, I've been smoked 20 times, and
it's been 3 hours.
I woke up at 4:30, and I've been smoked like 15 times.
Oh, man.
I'm like, but then it starts getting lighter, and then you start getting into like, they break you down so you can grow. They break everyone down so you grow together.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that aspect because as soon as I learned it and I saw it, especially once some people they don't click.
Yeah.
Some people you can't. But no matter what, you always looked out for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you always made sure they were all right. Maybe socially they weren't all there.
Yeah.
But I think they were better when they left.
Yeah.
Than they were when they first got there.
Yeah.
They might have not been perfect, or what you saw is just like the standard or what you would call it. But I think it definitely will help people out mentally because by the end, I can tell you now, you can ask a lot of people. A lot of people are like, basic again, 100%, I'll go.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I know one guy that went back to basic while I was there just because he wanted a sports bike. He's like, yeah, I had nothing to do. And he's like, I won't spend money here, so.
Wow.
He went through basic.
He went through basic just to do that.
He was in the Navy and went back and joined. I think he joined the National Guard.
Yeah.
They said he was out for a couple years too long.
Jeez.
So he was just like, he's like, cool, now I'm with it.
I get it.
I'm like, this guy's mad. This guy's wild.
I think that's one thing I've always respected about Army branches is the community and the family that you build,
Yeah.
within that.
And I learned a lot about that too, because I think a lot of what helped me go into that was into that decision was when I joined the fraternity.
Yeah.
And I know like Greek life is not for everybody,
Greek life.
and whatnot. But there's friendships I've made that I still have to this day. I might not see them all the time, but it was like, I link up with them here and there. It's like long time, lifetime bonds, and then I love that when you like groups of guys from all over come together. And,
Oh, yeah.
It's a crazy bond that you build. And I think I was just like, that's like outside of college and the real world, which is like something I missed. And there's probably definitely something I think that made an impact in my decision.
Yeah.
To grow with a group of individuals.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's guys and girls, but
Yeah.
individuals now.
Yeah.
For that, and that's definitely like basic, and the AIT was great. Like,
Do you know who I just had a flashback of on Snapchat the other day?
Oh.
Ray J. Up at
Ray J.
Jack.
Jag.
When we were at Funk's. Jag. Well, first off, I'm glad that you chose to make that decision because I've seen how much it has helped you grow, and
It has a lot. I've learned so much.
Yeah, and you are always that I don't even know how to put it. I don't think that there
I was a wild child.
could be. I know that, but I don't think that there was ever a person that genuinely hated you. You always came at everything so humble, always, and that was one of the biggest things of why I think we started hanging out because it was.
Yeah, it was a quick relationship too because
It was.
It's like it wasn't like, hey, could you help me out with this? It was instant, yo. I was just like, could you hook me up with this? No questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's I think that's always how our relationship has been.
Yeah.
Especially if I need a moment to vent or I need a moment to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need you for a hot minute.
Yeah.
I just gotta rip things off my head because I can't.
Yeah. Process. Verbal process.
Even the porch rocker days.
Oh, the porch rocker days.
Yes. Shout out to Sam Adams.
Oh man.
6-pack. I actually saw a 6-pack of them somewhere.
I need to get some.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's been a while.
Oh, but it was great.
Porch rocker days.
And then moving on to it, I've learned this actually. This past year. Well, I guess was it this year technically, or was it the year before, 2020? No, I think it would be. It was 2020 going into 2021. I think.
Okay.
Especially we've both seen how crazy this society has been.
That's one thing that I never I haven't really commented or put my thoughts on what has happened through 2020 and everything, and the reason being is just because not that I don't I'm really neutral kind of on everything.
I agree.
And I also feel just let it be.
It's going down.
It's going
literally.
Down. This way. There you are.
Cool.
Slide over just a tad. All right.
No, but actually, I completely agree. I see things. I understand things very. I don't know how I would say this. Yeah, it gets to a point where people are just using this or that to claim this is happening. I guess I should be more specific because it's kind of a broad. Broad statement. Which I'll say it. When everything first started, I think that everything with peaceful protesting and stuff that started. Well, I told people, I was like, why are we surprised?
Why are we surprised at all?
It's a fact thing.
It was building up.
I mean, I'm not going to say I've ever had it as bad as a black American.
Yeah.
But I've had my fair share dealt with racism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely made me better to who the person I am now because I definitely handle people like that way differently.
Yeah.
And this was long before I was even military.
Yeah.
And I think people were raised a certain way. I'm not gonna judge you on it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean I have to like you.
No. No.
You know?
Yeah.
I was just like, that's how you want to go about this. And obviously, you're not an important person in my life.
Yeah.
But I also think that when the rioting started, I think that's a whole different.
It's a whole different scheme of things.
That's a whole different scheme of things.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Because I think that was when people started blaming it. It was like, oh, this was that because of the peaceful protests that they're the rioters too. That's not true.
Yeah.
You got hundreds of thousands of people locked away because of COVID.
Yeah.
That you told them they couldn't work and couldn't do anything.
Yep.
You think they're not going to piggyback off of something?
Yeah.
You gave them the reason to.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's
And
the saddest part about it.
That's the saddest part about what's happening is people don't see that there is a movement that needed to happen. 100%.
And needed supported. And it's not the whole, like...
And that's not... That rioting was never the support that it
Correct.
needed.
Yeah. It wasn't.
No, it was not.
No.
This needed to happen.
Yeah.
This kind of changed in life 100%.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm more surprised that it took this long.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know? Because everything that they stood for and stands for still, I was like, that needs support. It's a factual thing.
Yeah.
Why do we keep putting a Band-Aid over it? Like, we know, you know?
Why? What? And I think one of the biggest things was it got to a point of, like, contention of, like, we're not ignoring this anymore.
Yes.
You know, there's
I
been
completely agree.
much ignorance and, like, just ignorance towards it. And, you know, it saddened me because I watched how people turned against each other so quickly. And this is just my opinion, and I don't know how much my opinion matters, but if there isn't some sort of accountability for whatever you're in, and, like, don't get me wrong, I have met some of the most amazing officers in my life.
Agreed.
That have helped me through a lot. I have been arrested and been, you know, confronted by one of the most worst and scum of them all. You know, I've seen it both. And if you look at other countries, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure it's either Norway or somewhere, Norway or not Germany, but Switzerland maybe.
Sweden?
Maybe Sweden. You have to go through a 2-year program before you're even allowed a gun or on the streets. How does that not, like, if you go through the system right now, and I'm not an expert on this, I'm a certified idiot on most of this stuff because I don't really know too much, but from what I've researched, what I looked into, the program that you go through to get into that type of position, you have to first and foremost understand you are doing a service. It is a service. And if you look at it like a job, it's going to become a job. It's going to become a 9 to 5. And that's not what it was, you know, I think originally played off to be. Yeah. I do believe there needs to be law and order. There absolutely has to. We all can't go around like...
They would be madness. Yeah, I think I learned it in sociology.
Yeah.
What is it called? It's anarchy, I think it is. Because there's no anarchy. It's just chaos. That's
or no, not anarchy. It'd be because I think anarchy is like...
Is that the other way
revolting around? Yeah, revolting against something. Yeah.
There would be anarchy.
There would be anarchy.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's what I mean.
If there wasn't order. But I guess my point to that is, like, how have we not come to see over the time that, like, no, there needs to be a program set up. There needs to be training. It should be treated like college, honestly.
To an extent, yeah. And I don't think taking criminal justice in college and then going to the program justifies it. And, like, yes, you have a strong education about it. Yeah. And then going forward, I think it will. I highly believe it helps you out.
Absolutely.
In the academy.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the academy. I have friends who went to the academy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think all of that said, I cannot say, I don't know what they go through. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. I'm not going to knock anything about that.
No.
I've talked. No. You know,
I guess I'm not I'm not trying to paint that picture of
I'm not going to paint that picture either.
Like what I mean by that is that there needs to be extended.
I think certain things need to be edited.
Yes.
From what we
absolutely
from the old ways to now.
Yeah.
And maybe they are doing that. You know, I can't be.
Yeah, I can't really say.
for a fact.
I guess more so I'm talking off of what happened between 2019 into 2020 and
And
2021.
yeah,
Like it's, yeah.
and honestly, maybe that they are making improvements
Yeah.
about it. And
I hope they are.
and
I pray they are.
so do I, because it's a lot of old tradition and a lot of I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'll be free to say it. I'm like, we celebrate Columbus Day.
Yeah.
It's National Genocide Day. Come on, like,
It's like Dave Chappelle. Oh, sprinkle some crack on him.
I seen a meme that was just like,
Oh
instead
man.
of calling them slaves or something in like a textbook, they try to change it to like, I don't even know. It was just like bringing people over from a different country.
Yeah.
And they don't lie about it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and I think history-wise, yes, it's important, because what history is supposed to teach us is what's supposed to teach us not to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, but we kind of never really, we got rid of slavery.
Yeah.
But that racism part was never taken care
No.
of.
It was never addressed properly.
Yeah, it was never addressed.
Yeah.
Correctly. And I think it's been long enough.
Yeah.
But like I said, now I love that aspect. I love that change or not. Now, coming from my personal side, I have a lot of family that are cops, firefighters, friends that are cops, all the above. The disrespect, I've met, like you said, I've met the same thing. I've met bad cops and I've met great cops.
Yeah.
And whatnot. There's still a cop to this day. Like, if I ever have a question, I call him all the time.
Yeah.
You know? And I think he's a chief now. But
Shout out, Chief.
yeah, shout out, Chief. But when you cross the line,
Yeah.
what do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah.
It's happened to me.
Yeah.
Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yep.
I don't think the drastic measures should be taken. I think sometimes it should be handled in a different
Yeah.
But also, you're just like, what gives us the right to have their life at risk?
Yeah.
If you choose to do something to put their life at
Yeah.
risk.
And the leaps and bounds that society has provided for people to now succeed finally is like the police stuff is like you're really dragging it back like 50 some years. Like how are you?
Well, that
doing,
was a lot of things with like Philadelphia when we were out there, when we talked about it.
Well, yeah, actually, and before we get into that too, like let's get into the juicy stuff. So you were present at the Philadelphia riots when they were happening.
So I was in Philadelphia, yes.
Yeah.
I won't specifically say where, stuff like that. I was not in town.
Yeah.
Downtown, I mean. That was not downtown. I didn't deal with the immediate stuff.
Yeah.
But I can tell you straight up, it's sad because I literally, from where I was, I could see both sides.
Yeah.
From where I was.
Yeah.
You know, and it was, how do I want to say this? You can see the people from that town. You can see the hatred towards the cops from some people.
Yeah.
And then you can also see the appreciation of people. Just because they were tired.
Yeah.
They weren't, some people definitely, they were just like, they didn't think that the movement wasn't right. They just hated the rioting.
Yeah.
And that's their home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where they lived all their life, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia's big, you know?
It's huge.
You know, and you can see, I remember a lady walking up to us and telling us, she's like, I'm so sorry that you guys have to be here. You know, and she's like really genuine, you know. And she told us about a whole story, and she was like, my husband was a cop, you know. He ended up passing away on the line of duty, and stuff like that. And she was sad because she's like, I'm sorry my city brought you here to this. On top of like
everything else. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that came in, and that's like when you see something like that.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, like, it definitely changes you. Like, it puts a different perspective on.
Yeah.
You know, I could see, like, we had an officer stationed by us at all times. You can see people driving by them all the time, flicking them off, doing all this, you know. And they're being professional about it, just ignoring it.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And then you have people like that. People are bringing us food, thanking us for being there and stuff. Like, you know, and, you know, like, more food than we can easily eat. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. Like, we even tried to pass it on to the night shift, and the night shift was just like, dude, we got food too.
Like, we got so much, yeah.
And then the appreciation and love is just great. That's why, I'll always love Philly.
Yeah.
Philly, I know what I'm saying. I understand Philly's a tough place, too.
Yeah.
Philly's been through a lot.
Yeah.
But just to see that, it's just, that's what makes it sad.
Yeah.
Because, I was taken away from my family.
Yeah.
And I'm not from Philly.
Yeah.
I was taken away from my family and my work just because, why can't we just keep it peaceful?
Yeah.
Why do we have to destroy a town?
Yeah.
On top of, seeing people, you're not only destroying, corporates or something like that, now you're destroying people's small businesses.
Small businesses and everything, yeah.
And stuff like that. It's just like, you're undoing what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're not
completing
forcing,
what you're trying
not
to do.
helping what's supposed to be done here, which is happening over here.
Yeah.
You're undoing it.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
It was emotional.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wasn't even all the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I talked to some people who were down there.
And I think
They
that's
said-
like too, when you're saying though, with that cop standing there and people flicking them off and everything, you can be as mentally trained as you can possibly go through to ignore that, but emotionally that starts destroying. And in this era where we're in mental health, and I know that you appreciate it and I appreciate it, we both go through it, and it's
we've been there.
it's how. For me, I think the sick thing was this ruined my mental health, or this did this with my mental health, and I'm like, well, everybody's mental health was at stake there,
And that's a hard line to draw, because especially stuff like that. So now you're putting cops in a predicament in which they have to be scared to protect their own life.
Yeah.
Or protect their own life and somebody else's, because if they use the wrong technique, they could be blasted for it.
Yeah.
By the same city, they're trying to protect the same people that live in that same city from some other harm, just so they're not made a media blow up.
Yep.
And that's sad.
That's another thing with the media too. The media blew so much out of proportion with that too. I mean, yes, there was, and don't get me wrong, there were terrible things that happened down in Philadelphia. But the way that, because I had a friend that lived down there at the time, that was like, look, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's bad, but it's not bad as what they're portraying it to be. And I'm like, why does it gas that?
Why are you gassing a certain part of it when you're not reality giving the whole entire story right up?
Yeah.
You're just lighting a flame it seems like you're lighting a flame that doesn't need to be sparked.
You're gassing up the destruction, and you're not stepping in. Oh, how are you going to help? Oh, you're not. You're just going to put a camera on
because
it. Because
obviously not so many people watch the media. If the media was more on a side where us as a community, we should step up and care for one another, not hyping up this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. I mean, all right, you got a job to do. You're just doing it to hype it up. Nothing's going to affect you, obviously.
Yeah.
But
it affects the people.
It affects the community hard.
Can we talk about the Capitol? Are we allowed to?
I mean, I was not at the Capitol.
Yeah.
I was working at
a undisclosed location near.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I want to bring this up because you were close enough to it to that day of what happened. Obviously, one of the most embarrassing things I think that ever happened in this nation. Absolutely nonsense in my mind.
Yeah.
What was it like from when you got the call that you're heading down there, and kind of can you walk us through just a little bit of the day without giving too much?
I was at work, and I can tell you right now, which is pretty ironic, because my boss said something to me right before I left. He's like, "You didn't get the call to go down anywhere?" I was like, "No, I haven't heard anything." Like clockwork. 2 hours later, I see my phone ringing. I know who it is, and I'm like,
here it is.
Oh, man, he jinxed that one, dude. And I answered. I was just like, what? I said, I didn't even let him speak.
Yeah.
I said, what time? And he's like, be here by said time. And I'm like, my boss ain't going to like this.
Yep.
And so I told him, I went, I got my stuff ready. and it was kind of, I will say, the group I went with,
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the boss, I could never ask for a better group that I went down there with.
Nice.
Like, from my unit personally.
Yeah.
Like, and a couple guys from another unit too. Like, this was the dopest group I've ever had.
Yeah.
We all killed it together. Always had each other's back. Nobody messed with us.
Yeah.
We didn't matter. It was great. But what we did do, you could see it was very divided
Mm.
in the city at the time.
Yeah.
And it was very, how would you say? Like,
What was the energy like? Like, what were you feeling?
depends on what part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see that, like,
I guess it's a pretty, like,
it's people who are
open-ended.
scared to
Mm.
be either interact with you
Yeah.
or try to talk to you.
Mm.
Now, obviously, there's a bunch of media slicks out and in.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, you just make sure you're just like, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just here to do a job.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it's not to be rude.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not, we're not here for
Yeah.
politics.
That's the last thing.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that raid was ridiculous.
Mm.
There's also some weird conspiracy things about that one that you can probably look at.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear? Did you see the one where, like, that they asked for backup when the crowd was there
Mhm.
and they were denied it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's there, and I'm not even swinging to either side of what about
Yep.
this, because personally, I'm going to make this record now. I don't care for either side.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm very neutral. Honestly, what is it? The conservatives would be? What's it? Or liberals? No.
I don't even know what parties are
Whatever
anymore. I know
party
there's-
we never had this year, this
Yeah.
last election. You know how there's always three, and we didn't have.
Yeah,
them?
there was well, I guess the parties would be Republican, Democrat, Conservative, Liberal. There's the Tea Party.
I think it's
Or said the
conservative.
Green Tea Party.
Why? Because you have to take into reality the fact is, like, no matter what, whatever side wins, you're never going to please everyone.
No. Yeah.
It's just how that
Yeah.
job role
Ends
is.
up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of fact. One side's gonna be pissed for 4 years, and then the next year this side's gonna be pissed, or the same side's pissed. It's how it always works out.
Yeah.
You know, not everyone's going to be, you know, happy about it. And the last sip. Yes.
Before we close off.
Yeah. Not everyone's gonna. You're never gonna be happy. And you just gotta be realistic about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you and I see things neutrally, because
Yeah.
personally, I mean, honestly, if anyone has any comments about it, feel free
To comment on
I'm
this.
gonna say it. I want the gays to happily be married,
Mm.
smoke their weed, and have their guns at the same time.
Mm.
That is a perfect world I see.
Yeah.
Ish.
Ish.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, then, who cares
Yeah.
who they're in love with or no?
Yeah.
Why is that a big deal?
Yeah.
If you want to smoke pot, smoke pot. Why do I have to care that you smoke pot?
Yeah.
You know, if you want to own guns, cool. I own guns.
Yeah.
You know,
Own guns.
you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, why do we have to hate each other in all these aspects?
Yeah.
Why does one have to be right?
When like it's so funny to me because actually, you know what? I guess this would be a good thing to bring up too. Like, do you experience like the political despair in your unit or your army or in the National Guard?
No. Well, everybody has their own side, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, because
But
who's ever the
between
president,
us-
that's commander in chief, regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
So
matter
it's like,
what, you know, we
yeah.
understand that, you know?
Yeah.
And you are told to keep it professional.
Yeah.
You have your own thing to do. You know, if you can't keep yourself professional,
Yeah.
it's just like any other job.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't be professional in what you do,
Yeah.
then, you know, like, there's consequences.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like talking to this and that. Consequences depends on the severity of things.
Hmm.
But I think a lot of us, and I think this is what I'm grateful for, is no matter what side you swing on, you always have some stragglers, you know, like, what is it, the dark horse, the black sheep of the unit.
Yeah.
We all know no matter what side we swing,
Mm.
you know, who you just like vote for
Side
or
with,
not.
yeah.
It's just like you and I
Mm.
went through the same thing.
Yeah.
We went through the same training.
That's the same unit. Yeah.
You
Unity.
know.
Yeah.
We might not have gone together. We might not have gotten in at the same time.
Yeah.
But I know you did exactly what I did too. And I know a lot of people won't do.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care what side you're in. I was like, you mess with them.
Yeah.
You mess with me.
Yeah.
That's how it will always be.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have a funny. My buddy made a funny comment about that one time. He said, you see two military guys going at it at a bar. He's like, you're there and you're like, they'll figure it out. You know, you see guys messing with, if you're sitting in the bar and you see couple guys messing with some military people, and you don't even know them, you walk with, it's like an instant. Doesn't matter if you're Marine, Air Force, Navy, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We can talk smack on each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will always do that. Okay? But if you,
That sounds like our friend
if
group.
you have not, yeah, true. If you have never done any
Yeah.
the training that we have done, and you want to talk smack on them,
Yeah.
bring more people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it is. It doesn't matter where we are.
Yeah.
I've done it plenty of times.
Yeah.
There's a guy I go to the mothership with. He's a Marine. We bark all the time. Name call, everything but not.
Yeah.
But the second if somebody would ever step to him, switch goes off.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't care what knucklehead said.
Yeah.
I said, now you have a problem with him, so now you have a problem with me.
Yeah.
Especially if you're voicing your opinion about what he does, because I do something similar. I'm not in the same branch as him, but I was in that. So what do you have to say now?
Yeah.
You know? And that's how it's done. So with the diversity in unit stuff like that, it's very open. And we open, like, two of my best friends, two of the best sergeants I've ever had, they're both lesbians. Love them.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, they could put most guys under the table. They can put them under the table.
Yeah.
Work ethic, working out, PT, how they look out for their soldiers.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter race, color, gender. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They would do everything
Yeah.
possible.
And it comes down to what's in your heart. You know, if
Agreed.
if hate's in your heart, hate's gonna be,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
if you let that
betrayed.
consume you, that'll dictate your life for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life.
You will
Yeah.
never be able to unsee that.
Yeah.
You know, you'll always be clouded by that.
You'll
because
always come from a perspective
even if you
of
let
anger.
what you previously were taught when you're younger,
Yep.
like we were talking before,
Yeah.
if you let that be what you're allowed to be, and
Linger.
you keep that lingering
Yeah.
for generation and generation, you know,
It'll eat you alive.
for sure.
And like if you're looking through that perspective, like it's always gonna come out of anger. It's always gonna come out of hate. It's
Mhm.
always gonna come out of like.
if you
Yeah.
always, and a lot of your decisions will not be rational decisions; they'll become emotional decisions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And when you start making emotional decisions instead of rational, then that's when you start making wrong decisions.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where you can put yourself in predicament.
Yeah.
You can put your people around you in predicaments, your family in predicaments.
Yeah.
Because you're making an emotional decision, you're not making rationals.
Hmm.
You know, and especially when you know it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what the right answer is. It
Mhm.
might not be what you want
Yeah.
or how you're supposed to go about it, but I've learned that the hard way. I'll admit that.
Oh yeah.
100%. I've learned making emotional decisions is terrible,
Yeah.
and it will not end well for you.
No. And when you're off cuff of emotions, it's
Mhm.
funny. I was actually just talking to a buddy about this last night. It's like how much of your let's save it till we're done. We got like
Oh, yeah,
we got
let's
a
do
couple more
that.
minutes. We got the last smidges of it.
Yeah, I disagree.
When you have that like yeah, like it'll literally eat you alive, and then you won't even realize that you're doing it. It's the thing. It's like you're just
Mhm.
your instinct is just act off emotion, and it just becomes natural to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And you know, like I think, like back to the Capitol, I think a lot of those people,
we're emotional.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're angry.
yeah,
You didn't like how things turned out.
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of America didn't.
No.
But also a lot of Americans didn't storm, you know, the Capitol.
Yeah.
So I think that was just like, it's a choice you made.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say, like, what happens to you if it was right or wrong. It was just like, you know, but I was like, you made a decision,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what brought us there.
Yeah.
And personally, no, I did not want to be in D.C.
Yeah.
You know, but I was.
Yeah.
And I had to make the best of it.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. I will say not the only coolest part, but a very good part about it is that it's like the first, after your election, was it induction?
After the election?
Yeah, whatever.
The inauguration.
Inauguration. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't think of words today. I am struggling. This is a long work week for me.
Oh, no, dude. I'm so tired. Everyone's going to watch this back and be like, why does he keep rubbing his eyes?
For inauguration, it's the first time we had all 50 states there.
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands, I believe that's what it was.
Yeah.
All National Guards were there.
Yeah.
A part of them.
Yeah.
Not. And that's actually the cool thing. Like, I've never been in a spot where I had everyone. Like, I actually have, I was handling some distro.
Yeah.
For food one point. And met these two guys from Texas. Cool.
Yeah.
Coolest dudes ever. Started hitting me up on Instagram.
Bro, guys from Texas, not to interrupt you, listen to this. Like, all right, so I went to when I was a manager at a car dealership, I went to a school down in Houston, Texas, and my desk mate was this just Southern guy, Travis. Shout out Travis if you see this, man. I miss you. It's so funny, man. And like we all, like everybody in that class just got a bond, and like there was a lot of them from Texas because obviously that's where it's from. And yeah, man. So anyway, like we hit it off. We were desk mates and everything. Like a year later, I am down in Mexico, and for like a trip for like you win through this VSC thing.
Yeah, I remember which one you went. Yeah.
The first guy when I walk into the freaking hotel, I just get this like chokehold, and it's him, and I'm like, I was like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me! Like they're some of the most hospitable people I've ever met in my life, and they will remember you even if they met you for a second.
Forever. These guys were so cool. Like I was one dude was like, "You got an Instagram?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, my man's trying to get his followers up." Right? My man was sliding my DMs asking me when the food's ready every day.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, that's great, dude." He was hype, and I'd be like, "Yo,
they're about their food."
Huh? They were, and I'd be like, "Yo," I was like, "Don't come now."
Yeah.
I said, "Wait like an hour and then come through."
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, bet." Like like
I got you.
I was like, "I got you, dude." But no, I met people from all over there.
Yeah.
Even the Secretary of Defense was there at one point.
Really?
Yeah, walking through. My buddy, my one sergeant, he's actually he got a coin specifically from him. Like,
wow.
Shook his hand. And he's like, "Here you go," and it was dope. It was crazy. It was like, wow.
Huh.
It's I do enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
I do and it's nice. I think this one was cool. I understood why we were there just because of the whole thing that happened.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to make sure everything was safe.
Yeah.
They didn't want anything popping off.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
And I think that's what people missed about that.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's not some martial law. It's like we just want to make sure people were safe.
Yeah, they didn't want anything crazy to go on. And, the same thing. And I understand D.C. was probably mad because, we shut that city down.
Yeah.
Like, they had people everywhere. And like, you couldn't walk through that joint. Like, it was crazy. But I think between that and Philly, if I had to, I would do Philly again.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the most heart-changing for me as a person.
Brotherly love, baby.
It really. We all said that. We said that was literally the most heart-changing, especially. I actually saw.
Except for Ben Simmons.
I don't want to be rude, but I believe that they were a Muslim family.
Okay.
Even they was so cool. They wanted to bring their kid up.
Yeah.
And say what was up to us, and we were like, "Heck yeah, come on."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the city, like going through, and we were like, "Heck yeah, come on, take a picture."
Yeah.
And that's what we were here for. We're here to show you, we're not here to be a boss.
Yeah.
We're not here to bully nobody.
Yeah.
We're here to show we just want to make sure everyone's safe.
Yeah.
That's all. We don't want.
Yeah.
We want to go home safe. We know you want to go home safe. We want things to die.
Yeah.
Which it did. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Philly heard the message.
Yeah.
Because we rolled up I remember we rolled up.
Yeah.
And I remember it. They said,
"Done."
Everyone went back home. Like, okay, so we're just gonna hang out.
Oh my gosh.
But it was nice. I met a lot of people. I heard a lot of stories.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people thinking, you see some bad with the good, But it was definitely a life-changing experience for me, and I
It's an
definitely love it.
experience that you'll never forget.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many. I can tell you, I am probably on so many people's
Experiences,
Facebook
yeah.
pictures that I don't even know, but I'm out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I took so many pictures. I was hanging out with kids,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, saying what's up, and just you make the best of it,
Yeah.
and you like to see that. Like
Yeah.
I said, even when you see the bad, like you see it,
Yeah.
you let it roll, and you try to keep giving people hope. It's just like.
Yeah.
It's gonna get through this.
Yeah.
Obviously we all did.
Yeah.
Things calm down. Things are still changing.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm glad that nothing stopped changing.
Yeah.
We're still moving in that right direction where we needed a reform.
Yeah.
At a lot of things.
The light was definitely brought into the darkness, and it was
And it's about time. And like I said, I'm actually surprised that we took this long.
Yeah.
To realize that.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the seeds planted, and I think that was the nice thing that happened with, the peaceful protest, at least from that end of the spectrum. The peaceful protest. I'm just like, I feel like we got stuff done for once.
For sure.
Yeah. Even if it was little, but
And
the littlest battles.
It said I went to peacefully, did my thing.
Yeah.
And I kept it as peaceful as possible. Obviously, I'm not here to do nothing. It's even sad because you can see the people in there. I watched one guy jump up trying to talk to a crowd of people, and he's just trying to amp people up because he's trying to start.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're in Lancaster. That's not gonna fly. Like, no one's doing that. Like, no one out here hates each other that much that we're gonna start a riot in Lancaster County, or Lancaster City. Like, calm down. Like, we're not that hood. Like, but we're not that hood. But it's just like that. I was like, that's a kicker. That's a killer for me. I'm like, dude, you got a guy here talking to us about like what we're doing is right. We all understand, but let's keep it peaceful. We're not like that. And it's it sucks for a lot of cops. A lot of cops even know. It's just like, dude, it's not the movement.
Yeah.
It's the people piggybacking off the movement.
Yeah.
But I'm glad a lot of change is coming about. I'm happy to see where we go in the next 5 years, or not. Who knows?
Or not? Is something happening that I don't know about?
No, I don't know. I never play. I'm a pacifist. Okay.
Yes.
So
tomorrow is never promised.
Yeah, true that. So I hope we stay going in the right direction as we should.
And I'm glad that I'm glad that we can talk about it now. And it's like it felt like every time that I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this, but I'll just say it. I feel like over the past 10 years, every time that somebody would try to bring this up or we would try and talk about it, there would be so much tension, and it's like that tension just came together and finally burst.
Yeah, like a Friday snap.
Here we are.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So
you can only
good to
bend
see.
something so far.
Yeah.
Until it snaps.
Yep. Absolutely.
And
It was good to see.
using back. Yeah, exactly.
It was good to see. My friend, I think we're gonna wrap up. We're over an hour now, but one, I gotta say thank you. One, for just being a good friend, man. You've been such a good friend through this whole entire thing, man.
Too.
It's been awesome. Thank you for serving the country in the way that you did and stepping out and doing that. And the
I
things
appreciate
that you do.
it. I thank you for support. I haven't done much yet, but
Yeah.
not much more
Every
than
little bit, man.
other people.
Every
but
little
I
bit.
do appreciate it.
No, absolutely. And shout out to all the military branches, just not the National Guard. Thank you for
all
keeping
veterans,
us free and
all
safe.
people still in. Shout out to what you've done.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
We're working on it.
So, yeah. That's it. That'll be a good cheers.
Let's get a good old cheers with the last little
It was so good. I might actually buy a 6-pack of this.
Hey guys, listen. If you're a what is this again? A stout.
Pumpkin stout. It is a pumpkin stout.
I mean, if you like any type of IPAs or any type of domestic beer or non-domestic beers, wait, is it domestic or non-domestic?
That one is
non-domestic.
Don't quote me on these.
I don't know.
I just got a craft beer case. So I'm working through.
I saw an owl and I liked it.
No, but I definitely, if you're definitely a pumpkin person, I highly. I'm gonna mess this up.
What is it?
Eliason?
Eliason? No.
Maybe.
I'll spell it for him.
Yeah, spell it out.
Because it's ELYSIAN. You're getting free advertisement, by the way, so I hope
that
somebody
is
sees it.
dope. The Night Owl Pumpkin
Really
Ale,
good.
it is amazing.
This would go good with It's gonna sound so weird. It would go good with some hot pie.
No, it would. That
It
I
would
think
go,
that's
like,
what the pie crust part. I
yeah.
think that's why.
I
It
think
makes
that's
you
why
think,
it makes you.
it makes you think like you want pie now.
I really want some pie right now.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great.
Definitely. But I appreciate you having me back on.
Yeah, bro. Anytime, come back on. We'll talk. I hope
Damn.
that we didn't.
We got plenty of things we
Oh
could
my
always
gosh,
talk
so
about.
much more. We just hit the just
On
hit
the
the
mark. Yeah.
hit the bottom of the mark there.
Mhm.
As always, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Wallace Production, WALLESS Production. Check out the new channel, Talk to Me Clips. I mean, I should stop saying that because it's really not new. It's been around for probably a couple months now. But,
Oh, okay.
but check out the channel if you want to see small clippets of or snippets of clips that I do with like Mr. Chico and everyone. Everybody, please make sure to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button and hit a like as you can. Support the channel in any way possible that you can. If you like the stories, anybody is welcomed on the show to come on and just have a conversation. So if you feel
I
free to come
highly
on.
suggest it. It's very nice.
It's
Very
fun,
nice.
isn't it?
It is. It's just fun.
It's a good fun time.
I love doing
Just
these.
loved it. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys.